Acharya ji, pranam, pranam. And the excerpt is from Anand Sahib, from the Nitnem Sahib. बिनवंत नानक गुरचरण लागे, वाजय अनहद तूरय. Says Guru Nanak, by taking the shelter of the Guru, surrendering to him and reciting his name, and him here refers to the God Absolute. By taking shelter of the Guru, surrendering to him and reciting his name, godly celestial music, Anhad is being referred to, a sound without cause is heard. Acharya ji, please tell me what is the meaning of this Anhad, celestial sound. How can we hear it? With gratitude and for your guidance. Anuradha, when you will be able to touch nothing, then you will be able to hear the Anhad as well. When you will be able to think nothing, then you will hear Anhad as well. When you will be able to see the shapeless one, then you will hear Anhad as well. When you will be able to be nothing, then you will hear Anhad as well. Hearing the Anhad is exactly the same as touching nothing, seeing a shapeless, formless one, thinking nothing, and being nothing. The sense of hearing has been used to exemplify a far bigger principle. Anhad therefore has nothing to do with sound. I repeat, Anhad is the same as watching a formless object. Someone says, I heard the Anhad, and someone says, I watched the non-existent one. They both are saying the same thing. Therefore, it is not about eyes or ears. It is about something else. And hearing the Anhad and watching the shapeless one are both the same as touching nothing or touching the one who does not exist. If you can touch nothing, then you can also hear Anhad. You want me to say more? The day you will be able to be nowhere will be the day you will hear Anhad as well. Hearing the Anhad is exactly the same as being nowhere. We are always somewhere, right? Just as we always see something, similarly we are always somewhere. So the day you will be able to be nowhere will be the day you will hear Anhad as well. They both are same, exactly the same. Being nowhere and hearing the Anhad. Similarly, when you will be able to not know anything will be the day when you will hear the Anhad. Similarly, the day when you will be a nobody will be the day when the Anhad would beat loudly in your being. But you are nobody. In whose being is the Anhad beating? Who knows? Anhad has been very erroneously interpreted by many. The saints, the gurus, have so delightfully, so fondly talked of Anhad. But unfortunately, the ignorant ones keep talking of Anhad as something related to some peculiar sound, as something that has a connection with the ears. No. Anhad is one's purest state of being. It has nothing to do with any aural sensations. Anhad is the formless form. Anhad is the soundless sound. Anhad is the touchless touch. Anhad is the thoughtless thought. Anhad is the personless person. Do you get this? Anhad is the name of the Indian teacher who taught koans to the Japanese. Anhad is the great grandfather of all koans. The koans go only so much ahead. They say you should be able to hear the sound of one hand clapping. The saints were much more prolific. They said Anhad. And then they went to the other extreme as well. They said, why must you have one hand clapping? You must also be able to hear the sound of no hand clapping. Why be so profligate as to expend even one hand? It is a wastage. Not even one hand is needed. Sound without hands. Anhad. In Japan, they require at least one hand. Here, absolutely nothing. Shunya shikhar pe anhad baje. Or is it said, one hand is beating up the anhad dhol? No. Shunya shikhar, nothing at all. And yet there is anhad. The koans have something still to learn. Wasting one hand unnecessarily. And you know what? If you are still tied to one hand, the other one can't be far behind. Basic law of duality. You cannot have one side of the coin and get rid of the other one. You have to get rid of both. So Anhad means no hand. And then there are those in bhakti. They say, how about 1,000,000 hands? I say, that too is fine. Either it should be no hands or it should be 1,000,000 hands. A celestial choir. A total chorus. All the hands of existence are coming together to produce a giant clap. How about that? That too is Anhad. Anhad is a very sacred word. It has been consecrated by the touch of the gurus, the saints. Let's please not abuse this word. We have people today, so-called teachers, who record the sounds of insects, crickets in particular. Jhingur, you know. And then gullible audiences are made to hear those sounds. And they say, this is Anhad. Or some vibrations that border on the ultrasonic range. That too has been tried. If they are on the border of the ultrasonic range, then you will only half hear them. You would feel as if there is something, but you would not be able to properly hear. And then the Grand Guru walks in and says, this is Anhad. But the thing is that the doggy hears everything. His capacity to hear the entire spectrum of aural frequencies is much larger. What kind of Anhad is this? That is Anhad only for someone who is a little impaired in the aural sense. I repeat therefore, Anuradha, Anhad has nothing to do with any sound or ears. It is the purest state of your being, free of concepts, attachments, identities. And there is a great delight in that state. That delight is denoted by the musicality associated with Anhad. So you sometimes say Anhad Baja, sometimes you say Anhad Rag, sometimes you even say the Anhad Dhol. Because it is delightful, it is musical. Musical to whom? To nobody. So forget about sights and sounds. Focus on life. See how life is vexed with attachments, identities, all kinds of nonsense. When that nonsense is cleared away from life, then whatever you hear is heard against the backdrop of Anhad. Getting it? Clean up. That's what Anhad is. And no, Anhad is not some cosmic vibration coming from some star 74 light years away. That too has been reported in spiritual circles. Please refrain. There are people who have conjectured that all the time everything in the universe is vibrating. So the entire Brahmand is sending these vibrations towards the one holy planet called Earth. And because the liberated ones are just like Brahma, so they can hear everything in Brahmand. So they are able to catch all these cosmic rays. And they hear everything that is happening in all the galaxies and everywhere, even within the black holes. And they say that is Anhad. But Guruji, how do you know that those sounds exist? Because I hear them. Guruji, why don't we hear those sounds? Because beta, only I hear them. I am the Guru. I am the only proof of whatever I say. So do not demand a proof. Just believe in what I say. Guruji, who told all this to you? Some flying snakes came to me and whispered in my ears. Guruji, how do we know? Because I am saying that. I am the Guru. Guruji, how will we know all those things? Surrender. Guruji, what does that mean? Sir, andar. All else is all right. Sir is not all right. Andar. Spirituality, Anuradha, is not foolishness. Please. Spirituality is beyond the intellect. Spirituality is not sans the intellect. In fact, you require a deep and sharp intellect to be spiritual in the first place. Only after you have utilized what intellect could give you, do you transcend the intellect. Even to transcend the intellect, first of all, you have to utilize the intellect. So do not fall to ideas, beliefs, or propaganda that makes no sense. That is Anhad. Anhad means let the two not hurt each other. Let the two not hit each other. But as long as there are two, they would hurt and hit each other. Anhad is to reside in Advait. Anhad is to be cautious of the traps of duality. Yes?